December 19th, 2012, regular and joint meeting of the Oceanside City Council, Harbor District Board of Directors, Community Development Commission, and Oceanside Public Financing Authority is hereby called to order. Due to the advance notice of closed session cancellation, no council members are present. Therefore, the meeting is hereby recessed until 4 p.m. on this date.
I'll open this meeting for the Oceanside City Council, Harbor District, and CDC for December 19th, 2012. Mr. Clerk, I got to start working on it. Mr. Clerk,
yes.
Welcome to our first meeting. We're sitting in the lead seat.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. A consent calendar after a roll call.
Roll call. Mayor Wood.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Jack Feller.
Here.
Councilmember Feline.
Here.
And Councilmember Kern is going to be absent this evening. And we're waiting for Ms. Sanchez as well.
Thank you very much. What consent calendar?
Consent calendar items 4 through 12.
9. Anybody else? Mr. Clerk, any public on this?
No public on item 9.
Thank you. Councilwoman Sanchez, we're just now into the consent calendar. Item number 9's been pulled by Councilmember Feline. Any issues for you on any of those items to be pulled? No? Okay.
I'm sorry, I would like to have a brief discussion on 8.
8? Motion for the remainder?
So moved.
I'll second.
Thank you very much. If there's no comments, please vote for the remainder.
Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you very much. With that, at your convenience, Mr. Clerk, item number 8 for Mr. Feller.
Item number 8, City Council authorization to award a contract in the amount of $946,350 to California Skate Parks of Upland for the Alex Road Skateboard Project.
Thank you. The reason I pulled this is I really got mixed emotions about approving another skate park right now, especially the way they seem to treat the ones that we have and the children that we have there. And so I would like some assurance that, and I apologize for not getting to you sooner, but as city staff, that we just have to have some better control of the skaters that seem to be really, for some reason, disrespectful beyond my comprehension of the things that we've provided for them. So if you might just touch on that, I would appreciate it.
Staff or city manager?
We're anticipating that with the construction of this new park, larger facility, that we'll see a drop in the overwhelming popularity, use levels at Martin Luther King Park specifically, with the inclusion of Alex Road in the system. So that's what we're hoping to see, and from programming standpoint, with recreation, and some type of programming out there. I'm sure Eileen Turk will look into that and have some sort of presence there.
It's not just the concern about how crowded it is. It's the disrespect for the property itself. I just earlier today I called in skate stickers stuck on every sign on the bridge that crosses Pacific Place, which crosses Cassidy, and there's skate stickers on everything up there. And I don't anticipate that that's going to change unless we make some sort of some sort of rule, or I don't know what that is. The disrespect is beyond my comprehension, and I don't, I think my grandkids would love to be skating. They wouldn't dream of putting stickers or writing on things and graffitiing up bathrooms like we have at MLK. So I'm going to vote for this and just hope against hope that we have some process coming forward that will help us to keep these places clean. Give them ashtrays or whatever it is, cigarette butts laying around all these parks. It's unbelievable that we're subjecting the kids, and they're not even allowed to smoke in our parks. So that's all I have.
Mr. City Manager, please.
Honorable Mayor, council members, we have had complaints over the years in regards to the language and smoking that occurs at the skate parks. The graffiti is not symptomatic of just Martin Luther King. We have that same problem at most of our parks, and we do have a fairly active graffiti program. I am aware that the police department does, depending on, that's mainly complaint-based, do go to the skate parks and do issue citations for helmet violations, but there's very little we're going to be able to do in regards to the language and or the smoking unless they're actually caught. So the disrespect part of it is going to, there's nothing we can do to stop that part of it. We can, however, again, as based on the helmets and the safety equipment, monitor and enforce that, but the remainder of those issues probably won't go away. And the stickers on Pacific Terrace is not going to be, it's not necessarily symptomatic of adding a skate park, but if the anticipation is that we're going to have a physical presence at the skate parks, then we would need to know that now, because at this point we do not provide that physical presence, nor do we restrict, monitor, or otherwise actively have someone available to police the skate parks. If that's something that is of interest to you, then I would say, I would recommend moving forward and improving this, but before we actually initiate construction, if you're looking for someone like a park ranger program, then we would need to develop that fairly quickly and bring that back to you if that's condition of us moving forward with another skate park.
Councilmember Sanchez, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm actually very excited about this skate park. I know that we have a lot of kids that skate in all of our separate neighborhoods, and it certainly is much safer to have them skate in a park, especially in one that's going to be as nice as this one, rather than on the streets. That's actually such a big, public safety issue, especially our streets that have become I guess the #1 public safety issue, although crime is starting to creep up, other crimes. But back to this is wonderful. I think there are a lot of policy reasons why we do what we do in terms of liability issues. So I don't want to say, it's probably a handful of kids that are responsible for this. The majority of the kids are really into this, and I've had the pleasure of meeting several kids that are very into this, see this as it's a skill that they develop. Their families are so proud of them. We had one kid who was Shane Hidalgo, who passed away this past year, who did some marvelous things for kids, would go out and do charity events across the border. In fact, that's where he was, that's where he passed away, is in an accident going south for a charity event. So now we've got some heroes out there. Yes, I know that we have some kids that are not as good about the rules, but in you know, for the most part, I think we've got some kids that would be really proud of this park and would, you know, that pride would probably carry into the notion of keeping this park, you know, looking pretty good. So I'm going to move approval. Thanks.
Second, everybody? I'll second it, never mind.
I would just say that that's what they've said about every park we've done, and they've been so proud that they literally destroy it and they don't follow the rules. I'm going to vote for it because I think it is in the best interest of everybody. I just hope there's a way that going in the future we can do something about it.
Thank you. Before we vote on it, for staff, you might consider putting the sign out, the park will be closed with continued vandalism, graffiti, or trash for a day or a week or whatever. Just contemplate, send a message. We're going to keep it up, we're going to close it. Not permanently, but for a time period. Thank you. With that, please vote.
Motion approved, 4-0.
Thank you very much. Mr. Clerk, item number 9, and that's for Mr. Flynn.
Item number 9, City Council acceptance of the City Treasurer's report for the quarter ended September 30th, 2012.
Well, thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to give our city treasurer a chance to speak to the public a little bit regarding the financial markets and the Fed activity and how, if at all, that's impacting our city and our investment policy and our investment returns.
Thank you, Councilman Feline. Honorable Mayor, City Council, it's my pleasure to report that the state of the city investment portfolio is very sound. During the first quarter of the new fiscal year, no, it sounds strange we're talking first quarter for some people when we're at the end of the year, but we're reporting on the first quarter here of the fiscal year ending 9/30. The city typically draws down the portfolio somewhat to cover expenses, as you probably noticed on the reports, and then replenishes during the following 2 quarters as property tax revenues fill back up our coffers. And in that regard, this year has been very normal, and we have one more tax installment season, as you know, coming up this February. Barring any unforeseen expenditures that might crop up, we are looking well positioned to be at or ahead of where we were this coming year post-tax season, which I think is good news. In the overall fixed income investment arena, yields continue to erode slightly as expected due to economic sluggishness and the Fed's ongoing direct action to keep Fed's rates artificially low with Operation Twist. As our own portfolio of bonds mature, reinvestment yields have been markedly lower, exacerbating the situation. In a recent meeting, Treasury Manager Michelle Lund and I had, we were fortunate enough to meet with County Treasurer Tax Collector Dan McAllister in a very small group in the presentation he put on not too long ago at a broker-dealer's office. He asked how we were doing, and we pretty much surmised it. And I asked how they were doing with the county, and of course they manage several $billion. And he said, we're not really managing for return, we're managing to not lose principal. And I think that's really it in a nutshell right now. The returns are so low, unprecedentedly, is that a word, low, that many of the treasurers out there are just trying not to lose money. And knock on wood, thank goodness we've been able to do that, and of course, as well as bringing a 7-figure return year after year. So, you know, that is good news. Earlier in the year, our Investment Oversight Committee met and discussed ways of safely enhancing portfolio return, and in May we unanimously concurred that we wanted to invest more in commercial notes. We're talking investment grade A paper, and we've been doing so, and some in the municipal bond arena, but we're being very cautious there because, of course, bankruptcies that we've seen statewide. And we're continuing in those arenas, and that's helping us improve on our overall portfolio performance. We're doing pretty well, I'd say, all things considered. Given a little time, we'll probably see a little bit of inflation crop up, and then that'll help us. It may not help the economy overall, but it'll help us in terms of our objective to maximize the return. But all things being said, we're doing well and we're in good shape. I have to take any questions you might have.
Well, thank you very much. I just wanted to give you a chance to speak out on those issues and reassure the public that our money's being well handled. Thank you.
My pleasure.
I see no other lights. Please vote. Well, motion, please. Motion.
Motion to accept the report.
Thank you. Thank you. With that, please vote.
Motion approved 4-0.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, when you have the opportunity, item 13, please.
Item number 13 is a joint council and harbor item. It is the adoption of City Council and Harbor District Board resolutions electing to become subject to the Uniform Public Construction Cost Accounting Act and introduction of an ordinance amending Chapter 28A of the Oceanside City Code to provide informal bidding procedures under the Uniform Public Construction Cost Accounting Act.
Thank you very much. Gary, good afternoon, please.
Good afternoon, Mayor and council members. I'm Gary Kellison with the Engineering Division. The item before you is a request for the City Council and the Harbor Board to adopt the Uniform Public Construction Cost Accounting Act. In a nutshell, this allows the city to use informal bidding procedures for reasonably sized public works construction projects. In absence of adopting this act, the city is restricted to going to formal written sealed bids for each project individually over $5,000, and that would be indicated in the first column in the slide. Our purchasing policy, which isn't specific to public works projects, but it is just ordinary purchases, has reasonable limits. The limits set by the Uniform Public Construction Cost Accounting Act are in the last column, so that up to $45,000 we allow open purchases, $45,000 to $175,000 informal bids, and for the first two categories, staff intention to use a bidding process, but one that can be administrated much more easily, accepting bids by email, faxes, and at the same time, the Act requires us to establish a list of interested contractors by specialty, and they would automatically receive the bid notices, plus we would accept bids from all other interested contractors that hear about the project. Our current bid advertising policy on the internet and in publications is in conformance already with the Uniform Public Construction Cost Accounting Act. Our financial accounting system is in conformance with the Act, so that it allows public works staff to do work in lieu of contracted work if it's cost efficient. And under adoption of this Act, then projects over $175,000 would continue to be formally bid as they are now. Staff believes this would reduce administrative cost and allow us to deliver projects more quickly as we ready them for bid, that they can be informally bid as when plans are ready. Finally, the staff report recommends adoption of the definition for emergency projects that's found in the public contract code in lieu of the one that was written into the purchasing ordinance. That's the summary of the staff report, and I'll sit down for questions.
Thank you, Gary. Let's proceed to sidebar. I appreciate it. Mr. Clerk, is there public?
No public on this item.
Back to the council. Councilmember Sanchez, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I do have a couple of questions for staff. First question is, your staff report indicates that for projects to $175,000, the city uses an informal bidding process by advertising directly to the listed contractors with a license for the requested work. How do you, what do you do to find out who has a license and how, and what do you do to get that list out to, or the information out to people?
Well, currently we advertise on a website well known called eBid Board. We send plans out to the plan rooms that are local. When a contractor submits a bid back to the city, they're required to list their license number and the specialty that goes with that particular license. It takes staff seconds, literally, to look on the state contractor's license board to verify the license is currently active and valid.
How would this impact, say, smaller businesses?
In my opinion, it would facilitate that because it would make it easier because they can submit bids by fax by email. They can formally notify us that they have these specialties in these areas and that they want to be specifically invited to bid on a project. Right now, on our formal procedures, we advertise, but we don't necessarily reach out to contractors in the community on an individual basis.
Thank you very much. Well, I do like those provisions, those business-friendly provisions. Certainly, we want to encourage our small businesses to contract with the city. So I'm going to move approval.
Have a second?
No, second.
Thank you. Chain of speakers, please vote. Excuse me, Mr. City Attorney, go right ahead.
You have a series of resolutions, but you also have an ordinance to amend Chapter 28. This is the introduction of an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Oceanside, amending Chapter 28A of the Oceanside City Code to provide informal bidding procedures under the Uniform Public Construction Cost Accounting Act.
Please vote.
Could I, it is listed actually as adoption on the agenda. Could that be changed?
Just take a quick look at the agenda. (13) are we talking about?
13.
Yeah, it's the adoption of the resolutions, which you are adopting. Just to be clear on the record, all of those resolutions would be adoptive effective today, but the agenda lists this as introduction of the ordinance amending 28A. Thank you.
Resolutions are important. Thanks.
Please vote.
Motion approved 4-0.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, let's do City Council reports.
Mayor Jim Wood.
Thank you very much. Make it short and sweet. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and any other holidays that you celebrate. Wish you the best. Be safe out there. Have a great time and enjoy. That's all I have. Thank you.
Deputy Mayor Jack Feller.
The message is the same. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And wish nothing but the best for the citizens and the new year. Thank you.
Councilmember Feline.
Thank you. Just want to say I had the opportunity to attend two wonderful events. The first one was the Senior Volunteer Appreciation Party that the city put on for our volunteers, and it's always wonderful to have a chance to say thank you for the people who give their time to make our city a better place. And also had a wonderful opportunity to attend the holiday reception on Camp Pendleton, and it's always wonderful being a military town and being able to attend events on base. And that's it. Thank you.
Councilmember Kern is absent. Councilmember Sanchez.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Unfortunately, I was gone last week, and that was something that I planned on for the year. This is that was a December Coastal Commission hearing that was held in San Francisco, and it usually takes, the day before to get there. Flight was delayed, and those kind of things happen in the Bay Area around this time of the year. But I will say that again, I want to protest what happened. Make my objections again that while I was gone, there was a special meeting that was set and actually heard this last Wednesday, December 12th, again while I was in a meeting. We didn't break until, we're from 8:30 until I believe 7 o'clock that evening. And I've had a chance to look at first of all, the notice that seemed to not have it did not comply with our rules on setting meetings, special meetings or whatever meetings. Very concerned about that. There were no resolutions for that meeting that were adopted, even on the 5th nor on the 12th. I had a chance again to look at the charter, our four-page constitution of the city of Oceanside, and 4 pages. Most of it has to do with anti-labor sections that were presented. There's no legislative intent because it was all done by written by an outside organization and presented to the council in one hearing for placing on the ballot. So there is no discussion. There was no, it was certainly not drafted by the city attorney's office, nor did we have a chance to really discuss the sections of it. Does not address anything about, specifically about the mayor. What it does say is that it reserves all the powers to the citizens of Oceanside, you know, this home rule. So all of the rules that exist at the time are now citizens of Oceanside, which means any changes that I would say would be any kind of major changes, like stripping the mayor of his appointment powers, which is a major. We have a directly elected, separately elected mayor. We do not have a rotating mayor. So that, I would say, would require an amendment to the charter, and amendments per our charter, and that's on page 4, in fact, one of the last sections on that in the charter, actually states that the way you change the charter is by a vote of the people. A vote of the people. So I continue to have issues with what has happened. I have no idea why this rush. It seems like the public did not have a chance to really talk about this. Certainly the council, not the full council, it looks like 3 council members met and agreed upon the setting of this date, because 3 council members signed the notice for the meeting on to have a special meeting. It was signed December 4th, 24 hours, not posted, just, you know, to be held on December 5th. So I'm very concerned about what's been happening here this past month, these past few weeks. We had an election where we had a very high voter turnout. It's like, what, in the 80s?
77%.
Excuse me, 77%. And certainly our mayor got close to 55%, a supermajority vote. So the issue as to who is our mayor, who is our leader, the leader for the citizens of Oceanside, our mayor, is Jim Wood. And you know, I respect this man tremendously. He's given so much to the city, to our citizens, to our neighborhoods, working first 31 years as a police officer, walking the streets here in Oceanside, raising his family here, and now giving what this is now going to be, when you get out, there'll be, what, 14 years, Jim, to...
Yes, ma'am. So,
at least for the next election, until the next election. So I continue to object to these proceedings. I feel that the meeting that was held on the 12th was illegal, and I am asking this council to, you know, at the very, very least, because number one, I don't believe that you can do what you are trying to do, but number two, at the very least, even if we said, oh yeah, it's all very legal, you just did not do it at a regular meeting. And therefore, I am asking you to set this again for a regular meeting. We do have one, January 2nd, which would have been the regular meeting that we all would have come to. You already knew that I was not going to be here on the 12th, which was not regularly scheduled. These meetings were done a year ago by resolution, and all 5 of us voted for, the schedule for December, for the entire year. So in fact, I'm a little embarrassed by the kind of PR that we're getting out there. There's no place I go that either people are upset, and that is our residents, are upset by what 3 council members are trying to do to our mayor, and that's the way they say it, to our mayor. And then if I go outside of the city of Oceanside, you know, they just shake their heads about the 3 of you. It's like, wow, you know. So I'm hoping that it's Christmas, you know, goodwill to all, that you will in fact redo the notice and allow us to all vote again January 2nd. In the spirit of at least trying to look like we're following a regular procedure here at the City of Oceanside. And whatever we do here, it reflects. You know, if this is how we do business on the dais, then why would anyone think that we do business any differently with our small businesses? So this is a wonderful community. This past year has been full of, you know, ups and downs, some very, very dear people, friends, people who have given so much to the city have passed on. We've had some wonderful, wonderful wins here. And I'm hoping that the new year will be a good year for us, that instead of trying to continue to fight, that we will find places that we will be able to work together on, projects that have a consensus, projects that would probably get some major funding. So those are my wishes, along with to everyone, you know, for this holiday season. A Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, I hope that you are able to spend a very, you know, warm, safe holiday season with your family. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to recess until 5 o'clock because I got items from 5 o'clock on at a time certain. I don't see anything I can pull up right now. Mr. Clerk, I don't see anything I can pull up at a time certain, so I guess I'll have to recess until 5 o'clock. Thank you. Pardon?
Yes, that's fine.
Closed session report.
Closed session report.
Closed session was canceled, so there's no report.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And 5 o'clock, thank you very much. No, sir, you can't.
Well, the EMT took my mother-in-law at 2 in the morning, and they were there in 2 minutes, and she survived. Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Second half of our city council meeting. A couple of personal items. If you have a cell phone or a pager, would you put it on the vibrate or silent? So we'd appreciate it. We're going to have the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. I'll ask you to stand for both of those. When it's finished, be seated. If you would stand. And Valerie, you take it from there, please.
This evening for the invocation, it will be performed by our city clerk, Zach Beck, who's also youth pastor at Gateway Community Church.
Let's all bow our heads. Lord, we thank you for today, for this blessing of life and this blessing of the holiday season. Father, we ask for your guidance, wisdom, and discernment in decisions that are made in this room and decisions made in all of our lives. And Father, we ask for this moment to be a moment of remembrance for those in Newtown, Connecticut, God. For those lives lost, and for the families who are hurting right now. We ask that as we are able to celebrate this wonderful holiday season together with our families, that they would keep their families at the center of our hearts, God. We ask for your comfort, peace, and strength upon their lives and on our lives during this wonderful season. We pray to you in your Heavenly Son's name. Amen.
Leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance this evening are members from the Tri-City Inline Hockey League. And we have Kaden Nakamura, if you would please come forward, Noah Garabrandt, and Isaiah Martinez.
Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Please have a seat. Thank you, guys.
For our next presentation, we have a proclamation, Day Without a Bag, And we'd like to call forward the following individuals. City staff members Colleen Foster and Cynthia Mallett. We have some members of the city's Integrated Waste Commission, if they would please come forward as well. And of course, everyone's annual favorite, the Bag Monster. Woo!
Ooh. Ooh, Bag Monster.
Okay, now is the proclamation in honor of Day Without a Bag. Whereas each year, approximately 86 million plastic carry-out bags are used in the city of Oceanside alone. And whereas in the United States, less than 5% of plastic bags are recycled. And whereas plastic bags create litter problems on streets and beaches, and in the marine environment, numerous marine animals and fish die annually through ingestion of or entanglement in this debris. And whereas the city of Oceanside has set solid waste reduction and recycling goals of 75% by 2020 and implemented programs to encourage composting, waste reduction, and recycling at businesses, residences, and construction and demolition sites. And whereas the city of Oceanside joins all other jurisdictions in San Diego County, as well as I Love a Clean San Diego, Solana Center for Environmental Innovation, and Surfrider Foundation San Diego chapter, in urging shoppers to forego single-use plastic and paper bags in favor of reusable tote bags to recognize the 3rd annual San Diego Regional Day Without a Bag. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Jim Wood, Mayor of the City of Oceanside, do hereby declare December 20th, 2012 as Day Without a Bag in our community and encourage all residents to assist in this effort throughout the year.
All right.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you, Honorable Mayor and Council. This is a great day. Tomorrow is Day Without a Bag 2012. The City of Oceanside is celebrating its 4th year of celebration, and we're one of the most active cities within the county. Day Without a Bag is about giving back to the environment by foregoing a single-use plastic bag or paper bag and using a reusable bag instead. So tomorrow, please join us in celebrating. Come to our Bagless Farmers Market and our Bagless Sunset Market to get a free One Last Plastic Bag Green Oceanside reusable bag. And also, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank our major sponsors. We have about 2,500 bags being distributed citywide through the support of our major sponsors. We have Think Blue San Diego, World Market will be giving away bags, Trader Joe's, Target, Albertsons, Walgreens, we've got Ralph's, Cream of the Crop, and I believe those are our major volunteers. And we also have Walmart. All of the Walmart locations will be giving away free reusable bags while supplies last. So again, I'd just like to thank you for your support. I'd like to especially recognize our commissioners here. I have Commissioner Steve Branson and also Commissioner Aaron Moore. So thank you very much.
And I'm Cynthia Mallett with the Oceanside Clean Water Program, part of the Green Oceanside campaign, and I coordinate the river and beach cleanup events for the city of Oceanside. And we obviously support this program because of the amount of debris that can get into our oceans and waterways, and one way to prevent that is to use reusable tote bags. There are reusable tote bags if you are here for City Council. There's some free ones back there for you as well after this meeting or during the meeting. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know Mr. Bag here, and he looks better in this outfit. Photo op, photo op. Thank you. Let's hear from ladies. Boo! Dragmaster. Boo!
For our next presentation, we have the Mayor's Youth Sports Recognition and Appreciation Award. And with us tonight, from the Tri-City Inline Hockey League, we have champions with us from both the Mite and Squirt divisions. So give them a big round of applause first. From the Mite division, we have the Stingrays, and with us, their coach, John Siebert. Assistant coach is Samuel Bryce. And team mom, Lisa Siebert. The players with us, the champions, Robert Agee, Anna Bryce, Griffin Bryce, Adam Drave, Matthew Drave, Cade Godby, Jesse Gonzi, and Bryn Siebert. Now from the Squirt division, we have the Wolverines, and their coach is Shane Nakamura. Assistant coach is Mark Kurkowski. And team mom is Liz Perkowski. For the players, Joshua Perkowski. Kaden Nakamura. Gavin Menshaka. Sean Menshaka. Andrew Williams King. Noah Garabrandt. Drake Alford. And Isaiah Martinez. And last but not least, the league president, Joe Curry.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. First off, I want to thank both teams, the coaches and the team moms. They represent our city, North County, out here in Oceanside. They're winners, they're champions, and they'll always be that, representing our city, the church, school, and I thank you for that. I'm going to pass the mic to the president first. Before I do that, parents, you can move anywhere you want and to take pictures. That's what it's all about. So welcome. Come on down.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'd just like to take a quick second to thank the coaches. We've got 2 head coaches, 2 assistant coaches, 2 wonderful team moms, all these players. This league, Tri-City Inline Hockey, has been a blessing to our family. All of my children play. None of them happen to make it on these championship teams, I noticed this year, but that's okay. This is an all-volunteer Army. Our 501c3 has been run for since 1993, and we have a lot of challenges. Our league is continuing to go strong with these volunteers, and I want to thank them all publicly. Actually, give them a round of applause, please. And Shane, if you'd like to say a few words about your team.
I just want to start off by thanking the mayor and the council for having us today, and also my assistant coach and team mom. And then especially these players who played so hard and gave their hardest this season and really came together and were just unstoppable. Sorry, getting to tear-eyed. No, just kidding. But no, these guys are great, and I just want to congratulate them again and thank them for this season. So thank you guys. And Coach John Siebert.
Thanks, Shane, and thanks, Joe. I also want to thank Sam Bryce and my wife, Lisa Siebert. the mayor and city council for recognizing not just our teams, but the Tri-City Inline Hockey League. It's a great family. We just got started with it a couple of years ago. This is my third season coaching. And thanks to these guys and all the support that the league gives, it's really been wonderful. And there's something special about this team. Not only were these guys undefeated this season, all the way through the championships, but out of the 8 players, 5 of them had never played hockey, never been on skates before. So pretty amazing. Great group of kids, a great bunch of parents supporting them and getting them to practice on time and helping them out. And I just want to thank everyone. We had a really great season. Thank you.
We're going to take, first off, we're going to take a picture first, but I want to see the champion of all these boys right here. Notice the long hair. And the young lady, oh, thank you very much. Have a seat right back over here. We'll get a nice photo. You're probably going to have to squish it in a little, but you can come forward maybe. And there we go. So we all can get in the picture.
Noah. Noah. Smile.
Let's hear it for them, folks. Thank you. Don't forget the certificates down on the floor. Mr. Clerk, could you get ready and when you get some of the people to leave, quiet down, we'll do public communication off the agenda.
Public communications. Item 20.
Now, please.
Item 20, we have 3 advance written requests to speak in the following order. We'll have 3 minutes each. Ms. Kathy Nichol first, second Sherman Whitmore, and third Mr. David Flood.
Kathy, Merry Christmas.
The earliest she's ever been on. The earliest she's ever had.
Honorable Mayor, council members, staff, and viewing public and attendees, thanks for having me tonight to announce first a thank you for everybody who helped with the tree lighting on December 6th, and of course everybody who came down. The weather was a little dicey, but we still had a fabulous night. And then of course last week was not in our favor, but that's okay, because tomorrow we're going to have a great holiday market down at the Sunset Market. Both the day and night market will be open. Looks like sunshine to me. I was trying to do the Sundance last week, but it didn't work. Our community action for our market this year has been Soldiers Angels. They will not be able to attend and have a booth at the market tomorrow. However, we still are taking donations. And of course, our holiday gift market goes all the way through December to include tomorrow and the 27th of December. So if you have a little bit of change in your pocket that you got for Christmas, come on down on the 27th and see me. Of course, Santa will be there tomorrow. And if you're tired of cooking and don't know what you're going to have for dinner, this is the place to come down because we have about 50 hot food vendors, 25 prepackaged, and about 100 retail and commercial booths. Of course, the children's area with a bounce house, face painter, caricature, and our main stage with live music every week. Information about that is at our website at sunsetmarket.com. And of course, if you have no idea what you need for dinner for Christmas, if you can't buy it at the night market, don't forget to come in the morning because the day market is chock full of all sorts of Farmer's Delight and prepackaged items. So again, thank you for having me. I hope you all have a great holiday.
Thank you, Kathy.
Next, we have Mr. Sherman Whitmore.
Good evening.
Mayor, members of the City Council, City staff, thank you for having me. I just wanted to say a couple words. The International Swimming Hall of Fame is looking forward to working with the city, and I find it an honor. I used to play hockey. I'm from Worcester, Massachusetts. I was raised in Massachusetts. When I was that size, I played hockey. We never won anything. We had a perfectly good time doing it. Anyway, I brought Jay Flood with me. Jay was on the Olympic Committee, served on the Olympic Committee for 10 years, is in the Olympic Hall of Fame, the Water Polo Hall of Fame. He's going to have a major participation in the hotel, the water park, the International Hall of Fame, anything that we're involved with. Anyway, I'd like to introduce you to David J. Flood.
Can I ask for a raise? Mayor, council, and staff, thank you for considering the International Hall of Fame to be relocated to Oceanside. It's a great mission. The International Hall of Fame basically is a clearinghouse for everything aquatics, including seminars, education, history, and hosting of events. They've been located since 1965 in Fort Lauderdale. One of the big issues is there's more Olympians in Southern California than any place else in the United States, and we should be here. We think that combining the Hall of Fame along with the hotel operation, water parks, associated with also the community and the ability to bid for future events to add to the occupancy of the hotel and the room tax would be a big advantage to this community. It's been done before. We've visited the site many times. We've met with your staff for the last couple of years. It would be a great honor in the future to be able to have the opportunity to sit with you, answer questions about the feasibility and the future of this project in the great city of Oceanside. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have at this time, but again, I'll be looking forward to seeing you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time and input, and we appreciate it. I think we have something planned for the future for sitting down and talking to the council.
Again, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Item number 21, there's no public comments on any of that.
Not at all. Okay, thank you very much. With that, could we go on to item 22, if you please?
Item 22 is City Council adoption of a resolution establishing regulations for new city parking lot 11 located at 1302 North Pacific Street.
Thank you. As Mayor, I'll open this public hearing and ask for council members' disclosures. Start with you, Jack.
Only staff.
Staff. Staff.
I've met with some of the residents in the area, and we've had discussions.
Thank you very much. With that, Madam Clerk, or Mr. Clerk, Madam Clerk, I'm sorry, I'm catching on. Mr. Clerk, correspondence, petitions.
No correspondence or petitions.
Thank you very much. Mr. Kwan, good evening, sir. Welcome.
Honorable Mayor and Council members, good evening. Frank Kwan, Harbor and Beaches. Item number 22 is a resolution to establish regulations for parking lot 11. Delete parking lot number 25. Document the expansion of parking lot 27 and update the regulations and restrictions for all the city lots. Lot 11 is a brand new lot.
next to the harbor boat launching ramps and between the boat launching ramps and the new harbor storage facility. Lot 25 is deleted. That is where the Spring Hill Suites on North Myers Street will be located. And Lot 27 has been expanded. That is located between South Myers Street and the railroad tracks. So that concludes my report. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Frank. Have a seat sidewalk, please.
There's no additional comments from public. Oh, public hearing, my apologies.
This is a public hearing. Should anyone wish to speak on this item, please come forward, line up at both podiums, and you have 3 minutes.
Mayor, council members, Jimmy Nutt, 127 Sherry Lane. There have been a couple of people that have approached me about this issue, and a couple of concerns which I don't know are related, but they could be in the long run. One concern was the potential privatization of our parking lots, and also the potential with that privatization involved with this. I don't know if this may be a long-term goal, but this could be involved with the reformation of some of the parking lots within the city, and this was a concern that was raised to me. And if there is, what the city needs to do is to do additional studies that's involved with that could talk about impact before and after analysis. The other cities, as an example, like up in Seattle, there's a study that's up there, and also a few other places like in Pasadena. And they have before and after analysis on the impact within the community. Also, there's the advantages and disadvantages that need to be quantified. You also have into the cities, as an example, too, it's a consideration of the impact not only on consumers, but also the businesses as well that needs to be taken in consideration. And that we need to take in consideration also where that money is being used. If there's a parking lot and money is being generated, as in Pasadena where they did this, taking and having new parking lots or old parking lots and what they did in reformation, they made sure to dedicate the money to that immediate area to affect the streetscape and the immediate parking lots that were involved there. They did not use it within the general fund. This has improved a lot of the business relationships with the community. I would encourage you to take a look at that. Also, the city might want to take a look at the actual usage of the parking lots. And if there is an underused area, and might want to consider maybe even doing what they call hooding the area, or hooding a meter, or hooding the lot, where it would be open for free parking for part of the year, and during the impacted times to take and then charge for those impacted times. This is a few of the issues that were brought up to me, and I thought that you would take this under consideration. Thank you.
No further public comments.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. This is your public hearing. If you want to talk for 3 minutes on this issue, you have to come forward. There's no slip required. I see none, so I'll go close the public hearing and come back to the council. Councilmember Sanchez, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Before I make the motion, I'd like to ask our city manager to do a little bit of a briefing in terms of what the issues were with respect to Myers Street and the parking lot there.
Sure. Honorable Mayor, council members, if you recall, we had a number of residents send in emails back when that parking lot was being constructed and had requested a number of modifications and changes and considerations. Many of those have already been taken care of. That lot is now constructed. The trees were changed out in accordance with those residents' wishes. Some other changes have been made. This action this evening will restrict the parking to daytime only, so the parking in that lot will not be allowed to extend overnight, which was one of the issues as well from the residents. And so it was also established as a fee for the use of that lot. So essentially, the majority of those issues, at least from a staff level, were worked out with those residents. And this will, at least for Lot 27, address that issue of the no overnight parking.
Yeah, I think there was a couple of other issues, and I believe staff has resolved them, having to do with when the cars were coming in the direction of travel, some of those lights were shining right into the residential, and I think that what was contemplated was some kind of a shielding of to prevent that from happening. That was a trees issue.
And there's also been lines planted on the fences that are there. Clearly today that's not going to be there, but as that landscaping develops, that will block those headlights. There was an issue about the crossing of the bicycles with the vehicles, and stop signs have been added at their request.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Weiss. I'm going to go ahead and move adoption of the resolution establishing the regulations and deleting parking lot 25. And formalizing the expansion of parking lot 27. Oh, and updating the regulations restrictions for all city parking lots.
I'll second.
Thank you. With that, Mr. Feller.
On these are kind of for you, Frank. So, can you explain what lifting the exemption for free handicap parking means to the people that have been using that?
In some of the parking lots now, I believe lots 27 and lot 11, they will now have ADA compliant pay machines. Prior to this, the city did not have ADA compliant pay machines, so handicapped people with a handicapped placard were allowed to park for free.
So they will have the same rules to follow in those particular parking lots?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Okay. On the resolution repealing all prior, but it lists out the lots. Slip renters, when slip renters park in a slip renter's spot, can they park indefinitely in that spot?
They can park for up to 72 hours.
So what happens if they travel?
They can leave their name at the harbor office, and we will make sure that they're not cited.
Okay. Have we had any mention of privatizing?
Not to my knowledge, sir.
I haven't heard of it either. And two other, pardon me, lots. Municipal lot, it's number 20, 900 North Pacific. And in that, I could find no permit for, the annual permit parking.
Honorable Mayor, council members, I can address that. The reason that the permits are not valid in that lot is we have restrictions as a result of the funding for that lot, which was through a Coastal Conservancy grant, and so those lots are pay lots, and the beach passes are not valid in those lots. The only reason that the North Coast Village is allowed to, the reason it's in here is because they actually donated the land, and as part of that donation, that was included in the donation of the land for the parking lot.
And lot 24, on item 2 there, it says an annual municipal parking permit is valid in lieu of fee payment solely between the hours of 9 p.m. and 9 a.m. Or no, yeah. I didn't quite understand that. Does that mean it's not good during the day?
I'm not sure. I'll have to check on that, and I'll get back to you by email tomorrow, if that's okay.
Okay. So if it needs to be corrected, that's all my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Please vote. Mr. City Manager, you have a comment?
Motion approved, 4-0.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, when you have the opportunity, 23, please.
Yes, we have another public hearing item. Item number 23 is adoption of a resolution amending the city's fee schedule for new members and their installation and for utility services related to the account establishment, after-hour service calls, multi-unit door tags, reinstatement of services, broken lock, and lock checks, and meter examinations, and to establish fees for RV dump stations as well as fats, oils, and grease permits.
Mayor, open the public hearing and ask for disclosure from council members.
Staff.
Staff.
No contact.
Thank you very much. Mr. Clerk, correspondence, petitions.
So this is a public hearing. There's no petitions or correspondences.
Thank you very much. Ms. Dale, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. This evening's proposed action is to request adjustments to various utility service fees and for new water meters. The adjustments allow for the full recovery of costs for providing a service and are applicable only to those customers receiving the service. The adjustments reflect the city's cost of providing the service and follows cost of service methodology. I'd firstly like to discuss adjustments to new water meters and installation fees, which were last updated approximately 2 years ago. These fees include the cost of the meter itself as well as the installation labor and would be paid for by new customers. Different from the last time the fees were updated, this round there are also fees that are being recommended for a reduction in cost. Depicted in this table are the various meter types and sizes, as well as their current and proposed costs. As you may note, on the right side there's several figures in green. Approximately 40% of the figures in green of the available meter sizes and types are being recommended for a reduced fee due to a cost savings in the brand of the meter that's being purchased by the department. The remaining meters are recommended for slight increases to recover increased costs in providing the services. For other utility fees, these were also last updated over 2 years ago in 2010. Approximately half of the fees being recommended for adjustment reflect a reduction in the cost to provide the service. In addition, there is one fee, for instance the lock check, which is being eliminated, and 3 fees which are being added. Those are the FOG, or the Fats, Oils, and Grease permit on the bottom part of this slide, the RV dump fee, and the delinquent notification fee. The most significant fee from a customer perspective is the delinquent notification fee, which would notify a customer as required by law that their water would be turned off. And currently that fee is $20, and with technology we plan to implement a program whereby the customer could be notified by phone and the fee would be 25 cents. In summary, tonight's proposed action updates fees both upwards and downwards to reflect the true cost of providing a service. These costs are typically borne only by those customers receiving the service. The average customer paying their bill on time should not incur any fees for these services. And with that, I will be available for questions.
Thank you, Ms. Dale. Have a seat sidebar. I appreciate it. Mr. Clerk?
This is a public hearing item. Anyone who wishes to speak can come to either podium. You have 3 minutes to address the council.
Mayor, council members, Jimmy Nolan, 27 Sherry Lane, also Vice Chair of the Utilities Commission. Just wanted to let you know that the Utilities Commission, the Budget Committee reviewed this. We passed this, and also with the recommendation to the Director to look into an issue that came up in the perusal of it, and that was with the turning off of water to families and seniors who are low income. And we're going to be addressing that issue to make sure that no child goes without water, and also any senior that is low income will not go without water. So we're going to try to see what we can do to address those 2 issues. Thank you.
I see no other people. Close this public hearing, come back to the council. Councilmember Sanchez, please.
Move adoption.
I'll second. Councilmember Feller?
Thank you. Who would pay for water if people had their water shut off?
I believe the item that Commissioner Knott mentioned is being researched, and we'll bring it forward to the commission. It's not under consideration this evening under this action.
Yeah, I didn't think so. The only question I had in this was under, well, it's on page 3, customer requested meter examination. And it was $3. Now it's going to $1.15, and I can't pick it out right now, but somewhere in there it said we only have had one of those in the last year, and I'm not sure why we'd raise it if we only had one.
Well, we're
Are you expecting more, or are you expecting meters to break down? Or
there are times when we have a customer that insists on having the service performed, and in those cases, we do want to recoup the cost of performing that service because there is a cost of it. We're recommending a fee because if we didn't have a fee, we could have quite a few requests, which could bog down the staff labor.
So many times when we get calls about, say, a leak, what we're told is, well, we'll be proud to, or excited to go out and do an analysis. Does that fall under this?
It does not fall under this. In fact, if you do have a leak, we recommend that you call our office and we'll come out as a courtesy and check that. And we also offer a free audit for folks that might suspect that they have a leak. We have a free number, and I can provide that to you by email tomorrow. And it is on our website as a free service to customers.
Okay, I just wanted to make it clear that, you know, this is not something that we're gonna, I mean, if you read it, it looks like it's a big increase, but if you're only doing one and it's their request.
It's very rare that we get that request, and let me clarify that if you do have a bill that you feel has been read incorrectly, we will send someone out as a courtesy at no charge to recheck the meter, and that is not what we're talking about here.
Thank you.
Councilmember Fellaini.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I just wanted to follow up on that item there because I guess when, in terms of a customer calling in regards to their bill and checking the meter, what is it that would actually trigger the fee? Because if they call and say, I think my meter's broken, and it turns out they're right, I'm assuming they're not going to be charged. And if it turns out they're wrong, I understand someone's calling 5 times a week, check my meter, and it's never broken. There should be some disincentive for that. So what is it that will actually trigger the fee?
If a customer has had us come out on several courtesy calls, we've rechecked the meter and they insist that we test the meter, that they don't believe that the check is correct. We do have some instances where the customer is very insistent that the meter be tested, and in this case, that fee would apply.
If it turns out that it's not broken and it passes.
Correct.
Okay. And then on the larger picture, just want to make sure I'm reading this correctly, that in the fiscal impact on the issue of the meters, we're expecting to raise approximately $5,000, but on all the other fees, we're expecting to actually go down by $126,000. So we should have roughly a net savings to ratepayers based on the new analysis of actual costs of about $120,000.
Well, let me clarify that. The meters that recovers the actual cost, so that's a net zero. But the reduction in the cost on the last chart Those are reductions sometimes in labor for overtime, because some of these costs occur after hours, and so these are, yes, in some cases, savings to customers, and in a lot of cases, these fees are fees that are being administered towards those accounts that are delinquent and have trouble paying, so we see it as a savings to some of the ratepayers that are having difficulty in these hard times.
Okay, so overall, it's good news for the people who actually pay the bills, with the exception of the occasional individual who wants a meter exam. So I think all in all, it's worthy of support. Thank you.
Please vote.
Motion approved, 4-0.
Thank you very much. Mr. Clerk, have we covered everything? I'm just double checking. It seems like we got them all. Before I go any further, Councilmember Sanchez, you had an item that you had missed. Would you please go forward?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I do apologize to my colleagues here. There was one item that I wanted to bring up, and that is that I did receive a call from one of our constituents who is an avid KOCT watcher of the city council meetings. And she was very, very discouraged and upset because there had been some changes by Cox Communications, and she was wondering, well, you know, what happened? What happened to my city council meetings? And so I called and spoke with Tom Reeser over at KOCT, and he helped me understand what was going on, and basically what he did for me was summarize the issues. And this is, of course, if you haven't gotten the converter, then you probably aren't watching. But perhaps for your friends, those that are having problems will, you know, say, hey, you know, I'm having trouble. Can you help me figure out what's going on? So this is what Tom asked me to read, and that is that some of you or your friends or family may be having difficulty receiving KOCT's 2 channels on the education channel. The reason for this is that on December 13th, Cox began transmitting PEG, that's the Public Education Government channels, in digital format only. This has not affected the majority of Cox customers, according to Cox. They said it only affects like 5% maybe, who already have digital services. But if you only have basic service and older TVs, that's before 2006, you may need a digital tuner. The Cox offer of a 1-year free digital tuner is only good until January 31st and is available only for Cox TV Starter or Essential customers. Or if you do not have a newer TV, you may have to, or if you do have a newer TV, you may have to tune your television to get KOCT. Basically, go to your TV menu and look for auto scan and rescan your TV. For those with older TVs, Cox will provide one standard definition receiver free for 1 year with self-install information. You would need to call Cox at 1-866-939-5637. 1-866-939-5637 to receive the digital box offer. KOCT is also keeping a log of comments and complaints about viewers' experiences during this digital transition. They want to make sure that they don't lose any viewers in this process. Their number is 760-722-4433. 760-722-4433. And you can leave a message on their voicemail or send them an email at KOCT and then it's the website is koct@koct.org. That's the email address, koct@koct.org. They will also post a link on koct.org's homepage to a Cox webpage with a video tutorial on how to tune your TV and additional information about this transition. Hopefully that's been helpful. And if you still having problems, call the mayor. He's one of the most technologically advanced people on the dais here. That's a joke. You can call me.
Yeah, I did get calls when people had the same problem. They'd lost the local
Yes.
cable channel. I did calls, and I called the deputy city manager, had her try to address the issue too. Thank you. With
Thank
that,
you.
before I close, do we have any students here from Rancho? Would you stand up for me, please? Stand up. I want to put you on TV. I want to put you on TV. Stand up, Rancho, everybody. We won't get to sign it that you're here. Your teachers will look at this video, make sure you're here. Anyhow, I'll sign your papers when this is over in about a minute. Thank you very much. With that, I'm going to adjourn this meeting till Wednesday, January 2nd, 2013.
Happy New Year.
2 p.m. Good night, be safe, and have a great holiday season.